I used to not even think about that at all. You know, I used to live every day, every single day, without making any change and having fun, enjoying time with my friends, going out on the weekends, and living life like a basically like a normal human. You know, don't even think too much. And then one day I sit down with myself and think about that I'm not gonna be here forever. And when I look back at my life, I realized the fucking primary school, high school, university, like time passes very, 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 very quick. And you don't even realize it because you're living day to day basis and you assume everything is gonna be okay. Like, you know, you go with the flow rather than trying to figure out what you wanna do with your life. And I was at that place before. And when I was living like that, I had to ask myself, what do I want to do with my life? Because when I go 6 feet in the graveyard, like all my dreams, the way that I live my life, I don't want to look back and say, oh, I just live a comfortable life. I never try to challenge myself. I never try to do something a lot harder than I'm capable of doing, but I stick to the system. That's what my parents wanted for me, which they wanted me to get a secure job. They wanted me to enjoy my time. They wanted me to go see my friends. They don't want me to be alone. Like, you know what I mean? Because my parents always wants the best for me. I'm sure your parents wants the best for you too, you know, especially if you're watching this video. So in that case, I realized that people around me want the best for me. In like the people that who love me because they wanted the security for me. Didn't want me to suffer. But in reality, I met bunch of people that they're close to their deathbeds, and in generally, when I met those people, the sentences that I keep hearing was that, oh, I should have taken that risk, oh, I should have traveled somewhere else, or I should have done X, Y, Z. It doesn't matter what you want to do, but the thing is that sometimes you have to do something that is you have a calling towards, and you can only figure that out by asking yourself that when I die one day, how do I want to die? Do I just want to live my weekends and do I just want to keep going out, keep seeing friends, and never try to understand who I am and what I'm capable of in this world? It's a tough question to ask, and I think a lot of us right now, we don't think about that. We don't. I mean, you can look at your life right now and ask yourself if you would be dying tomorrow or in a week, what would you have done differently? Maybe you would call your parents every day, or maybe you would take that, like, I don't know, like, I don't know you well enough to make that conclusion. But for me, I start living my life completely in a different way. And maybe for you, it's not starting a business. For me, starting a business was a thing, you know, that I want to look back in like 40 years from now on and say that, oh, I started a business, that it was very difficult, but I took a leap of faith and I did my ultimate best and I didn't quit. Because in the future, I want to look in the eyes of my kids and I want them to see that like their dad tried his best. So I don't know your inner motivation, but or whatever you're kind of like, kind of pushing you to find that out about yourself. But I know that it's an important question to ask because we are not going to be here forever. You're here for a limited time, probably 75 winter, 75 summer. That's the average human lifespan, by the way. So once you know that about yourself, and once you know you're not going to be here forever, for me, I had to call myself out. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm living life like a bug outside, just walking around. Like, God made me human for a reason. Is it just because to live? Or is it because to contribute to the society, take risk, travel, find myself as a human, what I'm good at, what my skills at, how I want to contribute to the society, and not be selfish. If you're just living day to day, going out on the weekends, constantly trying to distract yourself, you're living life selfish. You're being selfish. That's not the way to live life. To live life, you can be selfish, fair, but it's better to be selfish by trying to figure out who you are as a person, Because if you're not evolving as a person, you're not growing. And you're dying every single day. And that's not a good death. Like, I want to die before I die as a human. You know what I mean? And I think these are the things that we need to think about, you know? Like, I started building my business from a place that I remember that I'm not going to be here forever. And I was willing to make a change. And it was not an easy change. But talking to these people who were almost in their deathbed made me realize that they didn't try hard enough. They didn't try hard enough. They just let their biology control them. They let their habits control them. They never try to ask themselves how they want to live this life. Never. I'm gonna conclude this video by saying that your life will become a lot better. Your life will become a lot better once you start asking yourself question, is that one day I'm gonna die. How do I want to be dead in this world? Why am I here? Am I here to just to live, or I'm here for more? Because you could have been a butterfly, okay? You could have been anything else but not a human. But you're a human. So God gave you a chance. What are you gonna do about it?